Imagine this. You are the general of the most powerful army in the world. You have won countless wars. Your empire controls vast regions of Europe, Africa, and Asia. Your enemies tremble when they hear your name. And then, one day you march into a dense forest with thousands of soldiers. Everything seems under control. By your side is a man you trust completely. But what you do not know is that this very man has already dug your grave. A few days later, the entire empire is left in shock. You and thousands of your soldiers have vanished. 3 entire Roman legions have disappeared from history, and Rome's most powerful ruler can no longer sleep at night. Why? What exactly happened in that forest? Who was the man who managed to trap the strongest army in the world? And how did a single defeat change the future of Europe forever? This is the story of the battle that stopped Rome. But to understand this mystery, we must travel far back in time, almost 2,084 years into the past. At that time, Rome was still a republic. There was no emperor. Power was shared among 3 powerful leaders, Julius Caesar, Pompey the Great, and Marcus Licinius Crassus. History remembers this alliance as the first triumvirate, but the alliance did not last long. In 53 BCE, Marcus Licinius Crassus was killed during the Battle of Carrhae against the Parthian Empire. After his death, a struggle for power erupted between Caesar and Pompey. Eventually, in 48 BCE, Pompey fled to Egypt. There, the young Egyptian king Ptolemy XIII ordered his assassination. His head was cut off and presented to Julius Caesar as a gift, and now only one man remained: Julius Caesar, a man whose ambition was reshaping the world. Between 58 BCE and 51 BCE, Caesar conquered Gaul. Rome became more powerful than ever before. But Caesar was not only winning wars, he was also securing his future. He adopted a young man who was only 18 years old at the time, a young boy named Octavian. In 45 BCE, Julius Caesar officially adopted Octavian and named him his heir. Everything seemed to be going according to plan, but only a year later. In 44 BCE, Julius Caesar was assassinated inside the Senate. After Caesar's death, Rome descended into a series of civil wars. But after years of conflict, one young heir emerged victorious: Octavian, the same Octavian who would later become known as Augustus. In 27 BCE, Augustus became Rome's first emperor. Now he had a dream: to expand Rome farther than any empire had ever gone before. When Octavian was roughly between 5 and 12 years old, he witnessed his great-uncle Julius Caesar's campaigns in Gaul. Caesar's military victories and enormous ambitions left a deep impression on him. Perhaps that is why, after becoming emperor, Augustus dreamed of pushing Rome's frontiers farther than ever before. His attention turned toward a mysterious and dangerous land: Germania, dense forests, unknown tribes, fierce warriors, and a territory Rome had never fully conquered. Augustus sent his most trusted commanders into Germania. First came Drusus. He crossed the Rhine River and pushed deep into Germanic territory, defeating several tribes along the way. His successes convinced Rome that even this difficult land would soon fall under Roman control. After Drusus died, his brother Tiberius took command. He continued the military campaigns and forced many tribes into becoming Roman allies. Year after year, Roman armies advanced. New forts were built. Roads were constructed. Roman administration slowly began taking root across Germania. Gradually, Rome became convinced that Germania was already in its grasp. But at that very moment, a man entered the story. A man Rome believed it knew completely, yet understood not at all. His name was Arminius. He was no ordinary Germanic warrior. He had been trained by the Roman military. He was a Roman citizen. He understood Roman tactics. And most importantly, Rome trusted him deeply, But Rome had no idea that its most trusted ally was about to become its most dangerous enemy. The year was 7 CE. A new governor was sent to Germania, Publius Quinctilius Varus. He believed Germania had been pacified. He believed Rome had already won. He believed Arminius was his friend. But sometimes the greatest tragedies in history are born not from enemies, but from trust. And then came the year 9 CE, a forest, a betrayal, 3 days of slaughter, and a defeat that would change Rome forever. What really happened in the Teutoburg Forest? How did Arminius lure the most powerful army in the world into a trap? And why do historians still call this battle the one that stopped Rome? That is exactly what we will discover, chapter by chapter, throughout this journey. This event is so important that it raises a fascinating question. What if the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest had never happened? Or what if Rome had won instead of losing? The world today might look completely different. Perhaps a major divide between Roman and Germanic cultures would never have emerged. Perhaps France and Germany, nations that fought each other for centuries, would never have developed as separate identities. It is even possible that the history of England would have unfolded very differently. And perhaps the British Empire would never have risen in the form we know today. The English language, the British Empire, and much of the modern world shaped by them might have looked entirely different. It is possible that the First World War and even the Second World War might never have occurred. The rise of Nazism, the destruction of Europe, and many of the 20th century's greatest tragedies might never have become part of history. And who knows? Perhaps Europe would have evolved into a vast Roman cultural world where conflicts were directed outward rather than inward. But the reality is this. In the year 9 CE, a battle fought in a dense forest changed the course of history. And that is why the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest was not merely a battle. It was one of those rare moments that altered the future of the entire world. If you like this video, please subscribe to this channel.